I don't anticipate Jonathan Gannon fully changing his stripes, but I think it's going to be important for him to generate pressure on Kirk Cousins. And also, it's Monday Night Football. Kirk Cousins is not a quarterback that does well on Monday Night Football. I don't understand what it is. I don't know if it's the time. I don't know if it's the day. I don't know if he loves Sundays and allergic to Mondays. I don't get it. What's good, Eagles fans? This is your guy, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Appreciate you guys for liking it on the content. You know, we have to discuss, once again, the Eagles-Vikings matchup. This is a really big game for the Philadelphia Eagles. If you ask me, this game is a measuring stick game because the Philadelphia Eagles haven't really beat big teams or good teams for that matter. Last season, as long as Jalen Hurts has been here, we haven't really beaten good teams. And then this season we beat the Detroit Lions. You know, it's still early in the season and a lot has to be done. A lot still hasn't been locked in, but this is going to be a really huge game for Jalen Hurts and this Philadelphia Eagles. But the only way this Philadelphia Eagles team can win is if they limit big plays by the playmakers on the Vikings offense. And that's something the Philadelphia Eagles have done pretty well since last season. In that Detroit game, not so much. They gave up big plays to the running backs especially, and that can't happen against the Minnesota Vikings. You have a guy in Dalvin Cook who over the past 3 seasons has logged in over 1,000 yards each, and this season so far, he's logged in 90 yards on 20 carries. So he's on pace for a pretty good year. He's productive right now, averaging about 4.5 yards a carry. That can't happen. The Philadelphia Eagles need to find a way to limit Dalvin Cook to less than 4 yards a carry. I know that's a tall ask. I get that. And run defense hasn't really been this Philadelphia Eagles team's forte for the past season or so, ever since Jonathan Gannon got here. I'm not exactly sure why. Has Fletcher Cox lost a step? I know Javon Hargrave isn't the best run stuffer. Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, Brandon Graham, Teron Jackson, are those guys going to be able to do it? Haason Reddick, you know, a lot of people question Haason Reddick when it comes to stopping the run. Understandably so. He's kind of a tweener, undersized, so I completely understand why people question whether the Eagles team can stop the run, especially knowing what the Detroit Lions did. And I fully anticipate the Minnesota Vikings to come out and test the Philadelphia Eagles run defense because DeAndre Swift gashed us. And if DeAndre Swift can do it, what makes you think Dalvin Cook can't do it? So that's going to be something to watch. Dalvin Cook is a guy that's capable of breaking one on you. He's strong. He's fast. He's elusive. He runs violently with a passion. When you tackle that guy, you have to make sure you wrap him up, and you can't allow too many broken tackles to happen in this week. The Philadelphia Eagles led the league last year in missed tackles, and that can't happen. Once again, I know a lot of us get on Jonathan Gannon's scheme. Me, I'm one of the main ones that gets on his scheme. I don't really know how far I trust Jonathan Gannon. But one thing I will say, missing tackles doesn't help the scheme either. So if this Philadelphia Eagles team actually cuts down the missed tackles, at least by half, they're a significantly better team. And I'm pretty sure if we didn't miss 16 tackles against the Detroit Lions, we would have routed them. It would have been game over by the time third quarter was over. But now let's transition to the fact that Justin Jefferson is one of the most unguardable wide receivers we've ever seen in this game. I know it's fairly early in his career, but over the past 2 seasons, he's logged in over 3,000 yards. Really put that in perspective. In 2 seasons, he racked up over 3,000 yards, and he's already on pace to do amazing things this year. As a matter of fact, Justin Jefferson, 9 catches, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns last week, average 20 yards of reception. That can't happen either. I'm concerned about Justin Jefferson. Probably more so than Dalvin Cook, but in my humble opinion, it begins with Dalvin Cook and it ends with Justin Jefferson. We can't allow Justin Jefferson to gash us the way he did the Green Bay Packers. And the Green Bay Packers have a fairly talented defense. I understand it's week 1, and a lot of teams are still trying to figure out their schemes. A lot of teams have new pieces, and they're trying to see how they fit, chemistry. A lot of the wacky things can happen in week 1, and I'm trying my hardest not to overreact to the porous Philadelphia Eagles defense. But I think it's important to note that Justin Jefferson can definitely take advantage, and it's going to be so important for guys like Darius Slay, James Bradbury to stay on their keys. Adam Thielen, another guy you really can't sleep on. I understand he had a quiet game last week, but he's a pure route runner, a guy that knows how to get open, understands leverage. He's been in this league for a long time. He's a red zone animal. So don't sleep on Adam Thielen as well. I'm pretty sure this Minnesota Vikings offense is going to want to get him involved much more this week and also make their offense much more versatile. Watch out for KJ Osborne, Irv Smith. Even watch out for the backup running back in Madison, Alexander Madison. So this Vikings offense has talent in all the right places. The star running back, the star wide receiver, the quarterback. I believe Kirk Cousins is an above average quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Let's just call it what it is. He has multiple seasons throwing over 4,000 yards. He has a season completing over 70% of his over 70% of his passes, 65, 66, 68%, 69% completion percentages throughout his career. He's a very accurate quarterback, and that's because he takes what the defense gives them. He's not a quarterback that's going to go for flashy plays. He will love to just nickel and dime you to death and just gas you, a death by 1,000 cuts. And that's the way Jonathan Gannon plays defense. And I'm not sure if that's how we want to approach this. I don't anticipate Jonathan Gannon fully changing his stripes, but I think it's going to be important for him to generate pressure on Kirk Cousins. And also, it's Monday Night Football. Kirk Cousins is not a quarterback that does well on Monday Night Football. I don't understand what it is. I don't know if it's the time. I don't know if it's the day. I don't know if he loves Sundays and allergic to Mondays. I don't get it. But if the Philadelphia Eagles defense, if Fletcher Cox and those boys can generate pressure up the middle, if Haason Reddick can actually break out and have a game for the Philadelphia Eagles, it's going to be amazing. It's going to make it so much easier for the offense to put up points. It's going to help them in field position. And then it just keeps that Vikings offense on the sideline, and it keeps our offense out on the field with long drives. And that's something the Philadelphia Eagles specialize in, 13, 14-play drives. And Jalen Hurts is starting to show signs of being able to run the offense. He's starting to be patient, taking what the defense gives him. So I'm going to be paying attention to matchups in this game. I'm going to be paying attention to Darius Slay versus Justin Jefferson. I'm going to be paying attention to this Eagles defensive line versus this Vikings offensive line, who I believe is very suspect. But as much as we talk about the players, the coaches have to step their weight up. You dig what I'm saying? Nick Sirianni, I think he called a pretty good game, all things considered, in week 1 in a hostile environment in Detroit. I think he called a pretty good game. Shane Steichen, I think he called a pretty good game. I think he maximized the abilities of his quarterback, and I think he found a rhythm with A.J. Brown and got him involved very early, and so people can respect him as a threat in his offense. But I think it's going to be imperative that Shane Steichen finds a way, if Nick Sirianni finds a way to get Devonta Smith involved in his game more, to get Dallas Goedert and Quez Watkins, even Zach Pascal involved in his game more. I understand Quez Watkins and Zach Pascal, they're probably going to have at most 3 targets, maybe 4 targets a game at most, so they have to take advantage of those. But Dallas Goedert, Devonta Smith, they have to, at minimum, have 6 to 7 targets if you're going to target AJ 9 and 10 times. That's just my opinion. You got to get those other guys involved. The more Devonta Smith touches the ball, the more Dallas Goedert touches the ball, the offense is that much more potent. The offense is that much more dangerous, and we have to lean on that running game once again. And there's going to be so much more to talk about as the week progresses. The game is on Monday, and I'm super excited about it. Again, this is a measuring stick for the Philadelphia Eagles. We beat up on the Detroit Lions last year. We did it again. It was close, but we did it at the end of the day. And now this is a game where you go up against a above average quarterback. You can make an argument a top 12 quarterback in this NFL, top 12, top 13 quarterback in this NFL. And the number, arguably the best wide receiver, I think, is Devonta Adams, but arguably the best wide receiver in this NFL, Justin Jefferson, probably number 2. And then Dalvin Cook, a top 5 running back in this NFL. This is going to be something for Jonathan Gannon to pay attention to. If this Philadelphia Eagles defense can limit their missed tackles, if they can lock things up at the line of scrimmage, if they can generate pressure, if they can stop Kirk Cousins from being able to go through all his progressions and force him to dink and dunk and settle for the check down, this Eagles team will have a chance on Monday night against the Minnesota Vikings. And I'll leave it at that. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Also, comment below. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this game, and I want to see some score predictions from you guys. Do your Philadelphia Eagles win by a landslide? Is it going to be a close game, won by a field goal? what's it going to come down to for you guys? So make sure you smash that like button for Chalk It Up Sports. Make sure you guys comment below and stay engaged in the content. And of course, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I'm your humble host, DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry.